Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to TF Live for our game between Club Penguin Crusaders and PP for the AsiaFortress Cup 15 lower bracket final. My name is Lucky, and I'm joined by Core on production, and Ev is my co-cast. How's it going?
Hi! I
Hi!
am very excited to watch some PPs going against some Penguins in
You enjoy
Crusades.
watching PP?
Yes. I am excited, and this is a grand opportunity to witness the lower bracket finals between these two teams. And
very enthusiastic then about this game. I don't know
Yeah.
anything about these teams, so I'm expecting you to know everything for this.
Sure. I mean, yeah, why not? Of course, though, if we just look at the players, everyone's familiar with Club Penguin Crusaders already at this point because of how much coverage that we've been seeing them. They've obviously went against Xiao and had to lose in order to be in this lower bracket finals. And it was a really close match. In fact, it was a really close match. They just barely lost it out, and then in the end, it just boils down to the same thing. They're in the lower bracket finals against Potato Photo, PP. I mean, so that's very fun. But of course, if we look at PP's roster, though, we can't really slouch on them because PP. Okay, this name is getting to me. PP.
The Koreans.
The Korean team, yeah. The Korean team, they do have really great players as well. As we see, like Shocky and Daylight and Strucker, these are all familiar names we've been seeing so many seasons by now. Especially their scouts, Shocky and Larky. They've been kind of this huge duo that's just going around and demolishing everyone. Strucker is particularly very good in their team, like a star player in their team. But of course, you can't really dismiss the enemy for them as well. You can't really dismiss the Club Penguin Crusader scouts because obviously we are looking at TJ and Fishy. Now everyone knows that TJ is just the team.
He's the team.
Right. Not that. Okay, you get what I mean, you know. But TJ is really a driving force of this team. TJ is a main caller. He's a primary Uber guy. He's the scout. Yeah, so he's a pocket scout. But anyways, that's just kind of the scouts. But if we look at, say, the soldiers, we also see not much of a difference in playstyles, in fact, because Daylight and Shocky, they kind of adopt the playstyle where they are the space makers. They are people who would dump their resources so that their scouts can do stuff. And it's the same story you see in Club Penguin Crusaders as well. Their soldiers just do as much as they can so that their scouts can do the best that they can. And their scouts are really good at taking advantage of that.
Yeah, pretty machines. We've heard of like Fushy and TJ in the EU scene, and like we know of their prowess in AsiaFortress. So it's going to be interesting for me, at least, to watch them for like probably the first time because I've never really caught any like AsiaFortress games.
Really,
I've always
it's
been
the
like,
first.
I've really been like working when they're on. So yeah, it's gonna be fun to watch this for me at least. But have you got any predictions about how this game's actually gonna go?
Yeah, if I'm gonna be honest, I think the first map is going to be quite close. I think that Club Penguin Crusaders are still gonna win out in the end, but the first map is always going to be close, and Club Penguin Crusaders are going to lose the first mid. So that's
your prediction.
Did I just lag out?
No, you're good.
Alright, the server just... Holy sh... That's a huge explosion. Okay, the server just lagged and all explosions just went off at once. Anyways, I think the first mid is going to go to Potato Photo because they just always win the first mid for some reason. But I think the round is going to be a really close one and a very exciting one. That's going to be a 5-3 to Club Penguin Crusaders. That's my prediction for process.
That's a solid prediction. I'm not gonna make
Yeah.
one. I'm just gonna trust you and understand that you know more than I do, and I'll blame you if you're wrong.
I
Okay.
hope I do. In fact, I wish I do. I'm hoping it's the case.
Hoping it's the case.
But,
And what's our second map as well? Because in Processus map number 1, obviously known for scout aggression, double high bombs, all that stuff, and lots of team synergy and the occasional demo bomb and all that nice stuff. So what's our second map coming into the
Yeah, we're
series as
looking
well?
at Reckoner. Reckoner is our second map.
Huge.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think, honestly, I think Reckoner is played quite similarly to Process because you kind of need your soldiers to make the space for your scouts, right? It's not like, say, Badlands where your soldiers make space and do more than that because of how the geometry of the map is, like how the map is designed. But yeah, Reckoner, I mean, that's a pretty fun map.
Indeedy. So we are with all the players in the server at the minute, so we're just waiting to get going now, which is always fun because it's a little bit of, you know, deceased time beforehand. What do you think the final is going to look like, though, in AsiaFortress coming in? Who do you think is actually going to be in the final alongside whoever you predicted?
The final?
Yeah, because this is the lower bracket final. Obviously,
Yeah.
whoever wins this moves up in the brackets.
True, and whoever loses this will be out.
Yes. So it's not the end of the road yet, boy.
Yeah. I think my predictions still hold kind of true. I think that Club Penguin Crusaders really will come out victorious in the end. Yeah, and then they'll go against Xiao in grand finals.
Yeah.
Just as the prophecy is. But I'm really excited to see how Potato Photo still goes against them, though, because I don't think they are. I don't think the matchup is as one-sided as people may think. It might be. I mean, I may be proven wrong and be like horribly embarrassed, but I think that Potato Photo have really improved a lot. So much throughout the season. Also, is the STV just constantly?
The STV is like dying.
Yeah, whatever, man.
So what you're saying is you're predicting that TJ is going to go like 40-1, and then they're going to win. It's just going to be a fat W.
Yeah, not only 40-1, he's going to be like 40% heals as well. That's how it's going to be. Like, yeah. Anyways, you want to do the actual true analysis? We need to analyze the ping. Look at this. Analyze ping, dude. Look at this. Alright, you know, majority of the players on Club Penguin Crusaders, they actually play on 5 ping, right? Because everyone is from Singapore there, except for Banana, who's from Hong Kong, so he plays on like 40 ping. He still has 40 ping now, though. That's pretty impressive. But it's a different server. But everyone else is Singaporean, so like they get 5 ping. Holy shit!
Oh, we are going live.
They get 5 ping and they don't normally. So right now it's like 70 ping and 100. That might be different. But let's look at the first mid.
Indeedy. So welcome everyone to AsiaFortress Cup number 15 for the lower bracket final between Club Penguin and PP. And yes, I am going to say it like that as we are coming to the first mid, as my STV has decided to perish. As we've got good luck have funds in the chat, I think. And we're restarting.
You'll restart. Yeah, it's coming.
Great, fantastic. I'm going to be watching Itachi on his way to the first mid. I feel I've got a fun feeling about him. Don't know why.
Never mind. Bamboozled?
Bamboozle? Are they debating us?
I believe we should go live again very, very soon. Everyone should ready up. There's no way.
This is a mega cringe.
There's no way this takes too long. Alright, so the game hasn't actually started yet. So that's a bamboozle. So yeah,
there we go.
Wait!
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There we go. There you go. Now we're live, I think. As long as they don't screw whatever it was that they screwed up before. Hooray! Yeah, I think they're good.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Alright, cool. What I said before, Asia Cup, number 15. They had some tech problems, but now they're going. Finally, thank God for that. Alright, I'm watching Itachi to the first mid, and he's making his way in rather quickly. He hits the nice surf there, coming into the mid, lands a few nice stickies already. He's just nailing them out there. And we are seeing the first bomb come out from the soldiers on the blue side, and it looks like he doesn't really find too much with it, and they have managed to take the high ground with one scout, but both teams rather passive. We do see the high bomb go for a banana now, but he just craters into the floor. It looks like Smiley's managed to get a bit of high ground there, does do a fake bomb, and bombs around, doesn't find anything, and the red team are just getting shoved out here. And your prediction has come true with Potato taking this first mid, and they're on the chase as well.
Yeah, we see Larky right here, chasing right here all the way into the combo, and they're pushing in back all the way into last with the medic, and they haven't even capped mid, and they already secured second, just to show how much aggression that these players have right now in their systems. And right now we see even Ubers for both sides, but it's a last hold, and the momentum hasn't really stabilized yet, but it looks like Pingu are a bit restless right here. They don't want to just enter a stalemate immediately after we begin playing some competitive TF2. So they're like peeking out through a boiler room, trying to see if they can peek out anything. They do spot a scout, he takes a lot of damage. He's 30 health, hiding by the corner, but he gets arrowed to safety. But alongside there, Daylight went in for a sack play, I think, and doesn't get anything. So now we see Banana doing the same.
Yeah, just because of the counter-sack there, doesn't really find anything with it, and they're still opting to not get these engineers or heavies or anything along those lines. They do have time for it, but like you said, they don't want to get the stalemate going, so... but if they don't want a stalemate, they need to find a way to break this stalemate, so potentially getting a sniper or a spy or something along those lines could help that. As I say, that Banana is now up on the spy, probably just spy-checking the enemy team, and he will find that they have changed nothing.
Yep. And if anyone's gonna play sniper in Pingu, it's probably going to be Banana. Oh, as I say that, the Daylight actually went in for a sack play of some sort. He dies to Itachi's stickies, and now there's a one-player advantage for Pingu. And right now we see Banana jumping off of that. He's going for a sacrifice play. He doesn't get any damage onto the medic though. Oh, he gets the medic. The medic does take some kind of damage to go down to half health, but nothing really. Yeah, nothing coming out of that, and it's just going to be the same thing again. We do see Stroker now being Banana. He's on the spy, checking classes, and now he comes back on scout. This is just going to be a constant back and forth, I think, because both teams, they want to play some action, you know? Nobody really wants to go on a stalemate this early because, well, we just started, but it seems like they are just forced into this situation and not really much you can do other than just coordinate a sack play.
Man, if there's a point, any point in the game where you want to have a stalemate is when it's even and you've still got 27 minutes on the clock. So I would be in favor of setting up that, setting up that sentry gun, getting that heavy, getting that forward hold, and not allowing them to sack and just wait for them to make the first mistake. That's what I'd be in on. And they are sending sacks in, so I mean, or attempting to. So you are going to be able to find one pick, and then they can make something else happen. But I think that maybe they should just opt for an NG, get that gun up, then get a sniper, so you have sentry gun is the theoretical 7th man on the field, as we have got some pressure on 5 at the minute.
Yep, and we see the entire combo actually of Potato Photo walking into Boiler, trying to see if they can create some space, and that lets Daylight jump in, but everyone is just looking at him, staring at him as he bombs into the medic. So he doesn't really get anything out of that as well. Now we see the same situation again. Banana trying to see if he can jump up from lower. He does a jump, but he gets denied by the scout though. He does land in front of the medic, but the medic is 10 health. He's 10 health. He doesn't even pop. That's amazing. That's remarkable.
Play from him.
It's impressive.
This is so impressive, but since they have the pick, the blue team should really be taking space in lobby right now and just seeing if they can get anything going, because they're on the offense. They need to make something happen. They're just chilling out, waiting for stuff to happen, and it's just not really, in my eyes, that's just not the play. Like, you're aggressive. Try and get something to happen. You're the team that's supposed to be making things happen.
Oh, guess what we have? We have a sniper on
banana
the field.
sniper, there we go.
Yeah, on this banana cam.
Banana cam, it looks like he is going to eventually start rotating in, but it looks like Leclerc is on the spot already. Okay,
so he's walking into Boiler. Yeah, just hard scoping through this Boiler, trying to see if anyone makes a mistake, trying to peek him. Banana is actually a really formidable sniper. Hits headshots out of nowhere. But you can see him alone here on the left side, walking towards his medic now, trying to probably go through shutter. Yeah, he's peeking through shutter right now. His soldier's gonna open the door for him. See, he's gonna get anyone. He opens it. He doesn't get anyone though. He's hard scoping it again. He hopes to find a medic, but the medic's hiding. He already knows what he's up to. Now we see the same play again. His soldier tries to open the door. He sees the medic this time, but he doesn't get the shot. He does hit a headshot on Daylight though as he tries to sack in, and that completely denies him from anything. And now it's just gonna be a stabilized again. Nothing coming up from both sides.
Yeah, Daylight found that arrow and managed to get back up to full HP. Shocky also going low there and roll out, but once again doesn't find anything. I think that maybe he should switch positions here because he knows that they're out on the point. And the easiest way to see out onto the point is by looking through lobby. And he should just rotate over there, rotate the heels close, you know, and start sniping that way. And then you're probably more likely to get something. If you can't see the medic, just go for players. Like, there's no reason not to. Just try and get those picks. Try and get at least 1 pick or 2 picks. And if you manage to get 2 picks, then you can push out. It's just like a better situation. But they're just not opting for it. And we are seeing the Stroker sniper now, and he could counter him. He has got the Cozy Camper on and is fully healed.
Yeah, but they do know that he's on sniper already though, because he just took a lot of damage. And Banana hits a big headshot onto the scout. Larky is gonna go down, and that should open up something for Banana to work off of. He's gonna purge on top of this spoiler, I think. Yeah, he's gonna do that, and he has full sightline to the entire upper IT corridor, so that just forces the enemy PP to stand around the point, which is just one less corner to be on. And Daylight does a mistake and peeks that corner. He gets headshot by Banana.
Yeah, at this point they know that they have a sniper, so that's one less person denying this bomb, and in it comes from Smiley. He's in really deep onto Ares, and he is going to get the force off eventually on the mid, so that's going to be some actual shifting of the sands. Banana did in fact get sniped there, and Smiley gets taken down for his troubles taking out that Uber, as Stroker is now moving in deep, probably going to go for a hero shot onto the medic to see if he can find anything. He is peeking. Oh, Jesus! He could have died there.
That was too close for comfort.
Yeah, way too close. But now they have full Uber advantage, so they are going to make something happen here, most likely.
Yep, and in as much as we know that they have full advantage, it is quite hard to push against people who are fully expecting it. They're going to open it with a demo bomb, and they do save him with the Uber charge, but there's nothing that's really going to come out more other than just that. The demo man does create the space, but now we see a back cap all the way at last. They pull 3 players. Daylight pulls 3 players back to last, but he actually gets the cap anyway, and that's just so tragic. The first round goes to PP.
I think one of the key issues there was that they didn't peek out onto second when they went for that Uber charge. They just decided they were going to do a demo bomb. They went in with the demo bomb. They didn't get anything. They just got a bunch of damage, and they got healed up really fast. But coming into the next mid, Daylight going in for the early bomb, and he might get picked off immediately. Does land a nice rocket to deny Banana though, as you see Smiley going in, trying to pick up that frag, but a nice arrow from Ayers saves him. And we are seeing the hyper bomb in from Banana as he moves into the sewer area. Does get taken down though. He did get chased there by Stroker. Daylight also finding attached to the demo man. Smiley getting low now as well. He gets cleaned up, and they are going to have to back out of this one. And Daylight doing a really good job to survive there on that mid.
Yeah, it's really hard to play this mid when you have just one scout on the high ground, and he's just going, he just has to do everything that he can, because TJ was just on the floor trying to play with a combo, but that just gives up so much reign, so much free reign for the PP soldiers to do so much. And while Banana also tried to jump behind them, there wasn't really much a Banana could have done there, because Teen just was not there to die to him. So now we see the exact same situation again. PP wins the mid, but then the Ubers are even, and it's just gonna be a stalemate again and last. But it seems like Banana is opting to stay on the spy, and now he's just walking out right here. He's right next to the medic right now. If he decloaks right here, I don't think anyone even knows. The medic is just right there. The demo man is walking by him. He might be discovered at this rate. He's gonna switch to another position. He goes into IT, and that's a safer position to decloak on, because you have walls to cover up that sound. And now we see him walking out again. Banana, really patient spy.
This is a really hard stab for him to get. He's got Ayers with his back against the wall, and he's got that wide angle that he can see. And they have got Smiley peeking, trying to cause a little bit of a distraction for the spy to get in. Maybe this will be the time to send a sack and then try and go for the stab, just to make the medic move out of position. But they're just they're now spy checking, so I think that they know. Oh, they
do find him,
yeah. But they know Stroker's on snipers now as well.
Yeah, and Stroker obviously this gives a lot of opportunities for Striker to work off on that one less player, especially being a roaming soldier does open up a lot. But Shocky dies though, as he was trying to do something, and the players are gonna even out for both teams right here. But we see Pingu trying to see if they can peek in Boiler for anything. See if he can get anything. No off classes this time though for Pingu. It's just gonna be the traditional classes, and we do see Smiley peeking really hard into Boiler, not giving any space for that sniper to work off on. And that is a mistake by him because he does die to Daylight. Daylight does get traded out in the end though, but that's just gonna be the same thing again. One player down for each team, and not really much is gonna happen right there. Straka is still on Sniper though, and he's not really doing much aggressive peeking as Sniper yet. He might be doing it soon. We do see him walking into the upper IT corridor. There's not really much angles that you can get off there, but Banana is trying to counter snipe him.
If he presses spacebar, he's definitely dead. Banana now trying to peek into top lobby and doesn't really find anything. And Stroker's got the position here. I mean, the demo man of Itachi has actually stickied off the lobby area, but they are starting to move their stickies away and clear them out. And they really need to try and take this area to try and get that aggression going. Daylight now moving in, and he is in really close, and they don't know he's there. Itachi could get picked here. If he's not careful, some kind of beefy jump comes out as Daylight really screws up, and now they lose two. And this is going to be an opportunity for the Penguins to start pushing out eventually, as TJ is now clearing off one, and they're making their way into second.
Yep, 2 down, but the hard part right now here is that the entire team is staring at them as they walk out through this choke point. Shocky does bomb the medic and he dies though, but he forces out the medic, and that might just be enough because now Pingu are pretty much just forced to go back into last any second now because they have full disadvantage. It's just all up to whether or not the Koreans would push off of this and how soon. And it looks like they're going through IT right here, going through upper IT. They might catch out any players right here, and they're going to rush into the enemy combo. They change directions and they catch out other players instead. They pick out the demo man and they're going for more. The Uber charge hasn't faded yet, and Smiley's gonna die as well. There's 2 players down for Pingu, and Banana also going down. It's just 3 players, and it's just up to these 3 to go against the entire team of 6, and it's just not enough. The health is just too much for 3 players, and just a second round going to PP, going to the potato team.
Yeah, they did a really good job there of slingshotting that Uber through. Going through IT was definitely the play there. They had no one watching it. They didn't get called, and by the time it was called, it was far too late, and they managed to slingshot all the way through to last. They had a scout on that cab. No one was denying that, so that was just a very clean last push there from Potatoes. But coming into this next mid, Leclerc getting taken off the high ground already. Shocky going in for a bomb, doesn't find anything. Banana and Daylight now exchanging rockets. Smiley shoots down on Shocky and does manage to deal a bunch of damage, but no one dying yet on this mid-fight. Stroker does get piped, as I say that, as Itachi finds that frag. And Daylight now going in, trying to get some room for his team, but it looks like it's awful for Potatoes at the minute. They haven't got any health, and both soldiers are on the low ground. Leclerc just defending his medic, and no real aggression coming out as Smiley just kills himself on the wall. But now coming through, cleaning up these players, does find 2. And that is going to mean that the blue side are going to have to start escaping out of this one. They find a pipe onto TJ, but he double jumps to save himself from the crate.
Banana's doing a huge bomb though. Yeah, Banana actually forces out the medic. The medic gets brought down to 20 health, and he has to pop off the Uber just to save himself. And now it's just so bad for Potato because now the spawners are only just coming out right now, but they don't have an Uber. They don't have anything to go against this full Uber charge coming out from Pingu. And now Pingu are probably just gonna go and walk in for free. And yeah, they're walking through the white Zero, and they're just gonna walk in uncontested into second. They're getting onto the point right now, and there's nothing that can really force out this Uber charge out of Slayer. He's gonna just walk into last with TJ. Looks like they're going through Boiler, and now they're gonna start walking in. It looks like it's gonna be a TJ Uber. They pop on the demo man. The demo man does a huge bomb. He's going against a heavy right here, but the heavy gets instantly deleted. And now everyone in Potato is stuck in spawn. They can't really do anything if they stand on the cap for Pingu, and that is the cap. And 2-1 is the scoreline.
Yeah, that's just a clear representation of what happens if you don't manage to take panic before the last push comes. It was just really good aggression and massive force coming out there from Banana on second. That just won them the round entirely. They just shot all the way through, full Uber ad, and that was it. All game over there. So we are coming into the next mid.
And we do see a bit more ground taken by Pingu right here. Smiley is contesting that high ground really hard. He takes a lot of damage in the process though. And now we see Potato actually rotating really quickly into the enemy's grass side. And everyone is so low, but the players are all getting deleted on Pingu. I saw a huge air shot coming out by one of the soldiers of Potato, and it's just the medic alive with the scout, and he has to run out. They do stay alive though, but I think everyone on Potato is going to get second for free, and they're probably going to go into last and see if they can peek out anything as well. Otherwise, it's just going to be the same situation as the first and second round again.
Yeah, that mid was just a telling of, you know, when you actually have a focus, and they all decided that they were going to be on the same page this time, they weren't just going to bomb randomly. They just all went left, and all going left and going towards that grass area is a really strong move, as long as you stay together. And they did that pretty perfectly, and they managed to pick up the frags that they needed to win out that mid, and they eventually found all of them. The Whale Singer stack from Banana does not find a single ounce of damage.
Yeah, that play on mid actually going into the enemy grass kind of reminded me of Overwatch, you know?
Yeah.
When they all like just speed boost into the same direction. But we do see spy checking out from both classes. Straka is going to stay on Sniper though, Banana as well. So it's going to be the same thing again, Sniper against Sniper. So this time I think I'm gonna watch Straka and see whether or not he does anything different this time, or he's just gonna play the passive game, because they are up one round and there's only 13 minutes left to this map. So if anything, it's up to Pingu to try to see if they can push out of last and be aggressive, because Potato can just stay here all day. They are on the enemy team's last after all, and there's so many control points before they have to reach their own last. So not much that's in stake, but Banana does pick out this sniper headshot, sniper frag on Straka, and he looks like he's gonna switch off again. He's gonna switch off to Roamer, and then the Ubers are actually gonna get popped out by both teams right here. TJ's chasing in really deep, but Slayer's just left alone and not really having anyone to Uber as well. But we do see the rest of the Pingu trying to collapse onto the enemy team. There's a lot of damage coming out, but everyone on Pingu is falling, and now the cap is going on. Everyone's looking on the scout that's capping, and as that happened, everyone walked in. Everyone on Potato walked in and just cleaned up those frags. And they do get the cap as well in the end.
That was just a really sloppy Uber trade there on second from the Penguins. Like, they tried to come in to make something happen so they could try and shift something, but as soon as they Ubered out, Slayer just got left alone, and he didn't have anyone to Uber, so they were like not Ubering anyone for like a whole 3 seconds. And that was the time that they probably needed to try and find picks there, but they didn't find anything. Coming into this next mid, Daylight going in for the early bomb once again, and we have got the Clerk taking the high ground now with Stroker, and they've opted to go on the right side to try and counter their aggression, but they're being mirrored right now. Smiley going in for a bomb, gets loads of damage on the Clerk, some damage dealing across the board as Daylight comes in for a high bomb and finishes off Smiley as Daylight nearly gets taken down. Just managed to surf nicely to the other health pack and survives once again. Itachi dying as well, and that is going to mean that they will be able to take the secondary, and most likely they're just bullying TJ out. He's taking so much damage. Eventually he dies, and they're going to continue this aggression onto Slayer, and they find the pick, and that is going to be Fushy going down, and that's a wipe.
That's a full wipe. Yeah, and this time it's so much more different, because the same situation kind of happened in all of the previous mids, but this time the medic dies, so now there's no stalemate at last. Now it's just full Uberad for Potato, and they are already in boiler, already ready to push in, but they are going against a Banana Sniper, so they do have to pop early, and they do, and that just completely nullifies the impact of the Sniper. And right now we do see that Potato are starting to cap the point. Straka dies though trying to do that, and looks like the players are actually going down. But Potato, the Demoman's gonna die as well. This is not really going that well for Potato, and the Scout's gonna take a lot of damage as well. There's a smiley in their faces. There's not really much you can do when you're a Larky, and he's getting chased. Banana is chasing the medic right. He's gonna get the frag onto the medic as well, and that's a really delayed death for the medic IS right there. And they're gonna stack. Pingu are gonna stack this point. They're gonna deny 3 players, and there's not much that that Potato can do to contest this mid. We do see Daylight trying to hide. He does get bombed by Smiley though, completely read and predicted. So we see TJ. TJ's on the chase though.
Yeah, that last push was just a big old fail. They could have waited. They had time. They could have waited for the Shocky spawner and gone into that fight. Instead of being in a 5v6, they could have been in a 6v6 with still having Uber. But they just rushed it and went in immediately. And they could have also spammed the sentry gun before they went in. But we are seeing an Uber on the second point right now, as I'll stop talking about the last push that was awful. And TJ dies. Oh no. It's
TJ was just too far forward. Yeah. And Slayer couldn't get the Uber flash on him around the corner, and that might have been the mistake that cost them this last push. And we do see that they can't even do anything other than just wait on second and build this Uber at this point. Potato does have Uber at though, but we'll have to see how they push out of last, because pushing out of last is always not easy. But now we see them walking out of Shutter. Yeah, they're walking out of Shutter with the entire combo. Actually, no one's really walking out from the other entrances, and that's gonna open up the flank to walk into last. We do see Fishy going onto last, so he's pulling everyone back. TJ's on here. TJ's here as well, but they do actually kill some people, and the player advantage is actually in the favor of Pingu. They are picking even more frags. Shocky's gonna go down as well, and so it's just 2 players up for Potato to try to contest this last point, and there's not really much they can do. It's a full wipe, and that flank play just opened up so much for Pingu to work off of.
Yeah, that was it looked like a big beef for a second there, but this is just all off the back of that awful last push. They had no focus, and they went in with a player disadvantage, and all they had there to work with was the Uber charge. They didn't even spam the sentry, so I just think that was awful from them. A lot to probably fix there. Maybe getting a little bit overeager. We could see anything changes. We've still got 8 minutes left, and they need a round to get through this. Banana going in for a high bomb. Whoa, what a bomb! They destroyed that demo round. AS getting low as well, but they have still got Slayer left alive. He is incredibly low at the minute, and he's just going to beat my both scouts. Shocky now going in, taking that high ground, opting up for a high bomb. Leclerc trying to force TJ away, but he doesn't really do too well on that, as TJ is just Wing forward into them, and that is going to be a red mid-win. But they go forwards, and Itachi finds the pipe onto Leclerc, and now this is going to cost them second most likely. They're not going to have the players to defend this one, as they are just escaping out of there, and it looks like they want to take this fight, however, maybe take the Uber exchange to block it, but they opt not to. Okay, they are. Never mind, they're coming back in. They still haven't popped Uber. TJ's winning the 1v1 through an Uber charge. The man is an absolute machine, as the red Uber now goes off. And it looks like AS is going to get caught here, but they do lose Itachi and Smiley on this one. But it's going to be Fushy and Tiltproof Slayer doing the work along the side of TJ. And it looks like Leclerc now coming into the second point. It's absolute chaos. The Demo Man from the blue side now coming in to try and get some damage on Tiltproof Slayer. But it looks like he is going to just get killed here, most likely, as Leclerc goes down as well. Shocky's now coming in to join this retarded fight. And he craters and dies. And it's going to be Slayer living through all of that. They could not find him for love nor money.
This is the weirdest fight I've ever witnessed on the second point. Oh my god. Did I just lag out?
I think this might be a pause.
Yeah, I think it's a pause, but that mid was just so strange. I would say that huge double bomb coming out by Pingu, going straight into the faces of the entire combo. It was actually such a well-timed bomb as well, going into the faces of a Demo Man, a medic, and I think a soldier as well. And there was a lot of damage coming out from both of those soldiers to kill that Demo Man really quickly, but the medic doesn't die after that though. And that's just 2 players down, but Pingu were able to reconvert that mid fight into a win, because Itachi hit a really good pipe, I think, or it's just really good damage onto one of the players on Potato as they tried to aggress, and that just gave them the player advantage, and most importantly the ground advantage, because the players were so low. There were these so few players. If you took the high ground, that's just not really that player presence to really contest you off the high ground. And that's just exactly what Pingu did after they got that 1 player frag. And as I chased into second, there was just the weirdest fight as we've ever seen. See them just constantly committing off of just the fact that they didn't want to give up that second point. And I think if TJ did not die there, they would probably not be just sitting on second right here, I think. TJ did die at the very end of that exchange.
I think you can just tell in the back of that fight though that TJ was probably screaming, "Go in, boys! Get in there!" And then they all just W through choke and kill everyone. So Like that's pretty much all I can imagine coming
Yeah.
out from that team right now. But that was just really good aggression from them. I think it was just clean, and you can see what happens when a team panics and they're like, "Uh-oh, their medic lived, our medic died. This is bad." Like you can just tell that they just wanted to find that med frag, because if they found it, they wouldn't be at this disadvantage that they have now, and potentially they wouldn't be facing up against the last push. But let's see if they can do it a little bit more organized this time on the side of the red team and try and get some kind of focus going on for whatever last push they decide to go for. And maybe they should start spotting out what they have on last right now, since they are just sitting around a second doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah, the medic is already at 90% right, or as I speak, and they do have a Uber advantage though. I'm not really sure because the demo UI is a bit bugged. But we see them pushing into last right here. The Uber's gonna get popped up from Itachi. There is a sentry that they're going against though. It's going to be taken down by Itachi, and it looks like everyone in Potato is just not really present in this fight, other than just sitting outside of their spawn door. But we do see the players of Pingu going down really low. Smiley is actually camping up top right there. And they just stand on the point and they didn't really contest it. I think that might not look as well as it was supposed to be, but it came out in their favor, so yeah, that's all that matters in the end.
Yeah, it could have been a lot cleaner. Like, they could have peeked through 5, spammed the gun, then gone for the Uber, and they would have crushed them all with the Uber, since they're all being potato mode in panic, so that's all good. But we are seeing both teams using their Uber charges before the mid-fight, and it's looking a bit... Yeah, because, you know...
Yeah,
they had the pause, so they had Ubers. So they've just used Ubers on this mid, yeah.
They're being very good players, but very sportsman-like. But we do see Banana doing a very high bomb onto the scout, and he does pick up that frag onto Stroker there, or one of the scouts, and we do see Daylight trying to salvage it by bombing into the enemy, and the medic Slayer does surf out of that bomb though, so that's not really eventful. And we do see, I think, a stalemate. Yeah, it's probably going to be a stalemate again. The medic for Potato is only at 60% Uber charge, whereas Slayer already has this. So if they do push into last right now, they would actually have Uber add, but I don't think they would because they're not supposed to. And we do see Banana already in last trying to go for a play. He does pull a lot of faces onto him though, and not really much coming out of that play, and I think it's just gonna be evened out at this rate.
Yeah, they're just backing up now to try and make it so the sack is less effective from the blue side, and just everyone's chilling out on the point. A nice area to surf from Slayer, and Daylight coming in through lower, and he just decides not to. He sees Itachi watching the trap and opts not to go for it. And it's just going to be more chilling out, I think, on the second. Daylight's not going to find an angle here, I don't think, for a couple seconds. And he's just going to relax and chillax in this lobby area, but he does get killed by TJ and Slayer coming through there. And it looks like they are getting space on 5. Fushy could run in if he wanted to and get loads of room for his team. They haven't got anyone covering that right-hand side. But
Banana does
from Banana.
Bomb, though.
Yeah, it doesn't find anything, sadly.
And yeah, not really. Just the same thing again. Just both teams just trading out players, trying to see if they can do something more with just their lives. That sounded a bit too close, but it's okay. We see Banana on Sniper though, and Strucker as well. Strucker does know his sniping because he did went spy to check, so they do know that they're going against a sniper and a sniper matchup. I think at this point they already expect there to be a sniper at last, but we do see Banana at upper IT into the corridor, trying to just hard scope into a corner and see if anyone does a fatal mistake of peeking him. And looking at Strucker this time, Strucker is instead at shutter door, doing the same thing, just hard scoping through a corner and not letting you peek. But one major thing I think we should keep in mind is that the scores are actually even, unlike previously. The scores are even, and there's 3 minutes left, and Pingu has 3 minutes basically to get this round, to convert this round into a win. So that's fun.
What are the rules for the golden caps in this? Is there a golden cap? I assume there is.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, so, I mean, they could take it to a golden cap. I mean, if I was the blue team, I'd probably be content right now with trying to drive it to a golden cap. You're on last, you don't want to get back capped, you want to play it safe. Giving yourself another chance at a mid is probably better than, you know, losing this, potentially losing a last push or getting back capped. So, I would be very content if I was the blue side just to drive it towards that golden cap. And we are seeing a headshot ring out from Banana onto Stroker as he finds the first pick, which means they're going to be able to make some space into lobby now to try and make something actually happen in this game.
Oh yeah, it looks like the entire combo is walking in. They're walking in through the right side. They do get it for free though, and now the Ubers are gonna trade out for both sides, and TJ is just forcing them to flash the Ubers, but Shocky doesn't get the flash in time, and he does go down. And now everyone from Pingu is flooding in. They do get a frag onto Straka with a headshot from Banana, and the medic's also going to go down. And everyone's just going down except for that Soldier Daylight. He couldn't do anything though, and I think at this rate, it is possible to lose as Pingu, but everyone on Potato is just betting on the fact that they win this mid fight convincingly and roll them into last and get this cap evened out, because right now 3-4 with 1 minute and 30 seconds left on the clock, I would be afraid if I was Potato not wanting to lose this map. But now we do see this mid, Banana going in for a really early bomb. He doesn't get anything and he just get instantly deleted. I think Pingu are gonna back out. Yeah, they are doing the play where they back out and they just hold on second and stall for as much time as possible. But I think that this might not be that good, because we do see the entire team of Potato flooding in through the choke point. Smiley does go down in that process, and Itachi is so low. They have to give up this second point, and the momentum is fully in Potato's favor. If anything, I think this is really close. There is still 1 minute left, so that's plenty of time. And so we see Potato walking in through the boiler side, and Banana is on sniper.
Yeah, we are seeing an exchange coming out on the left-hand side here. TJ leading this one forwards. He likes taking these trades with his team, but it looks like they are getting juggled in this door. Itachi actually gets picked there, the demo man, the red side going down, so this could be really bad. But they have managed to get this level 1 sentry gun up. Unfortunately, it is not any higher, but Daylight gets picked off on the right-hand side. That is going to relieve some of the pressure. The sentry gun now going down, and the demo man moving forwards. McClurk looks like he wants to aim for this cap. Fushy's just trapped in the spawn right now, trying to switch on and off ahead. Banana denying that high ground from them, but it looks like Stroker's going to scatter guns and players into the floor. But he doesn't actually find the frag. Leclerc getting very low, but they are going to have to back out of this one. Unfortunately, they're losing 2 players in that fight. It was looking so good for a short period of time.
Yeah, that was so unfortunate. That was actually such a winnable fight for Potato, but Shocky, as he jumped and tried to make space, he ran out of ammo. And him being an escape plan just drew everyone's eyes towards him, and he just got instantly deleted with that mini crits damage boost, damage bonus, and he just died instantly. And there wasn't really much a Potato could do anymore at that point, because everyone was on the floor and they needed that soldier to jump and create ground so that they could walk forward onto the point. But Shocky running out of ammo right there was just so tragic, because that was probably the reason why they couldn't even win. So I mean, time to switch to Calm Mangler, I guess, LOL. But 3-4 at the end of this map. CP process going to the favor of Pingu.
Yeah, it's a very close game there, but I think there was a few sloppy things that they could have done a little bit better on both sides. Maybe it's just the nerves, or maybe it's like, first match jitters, like an actual offie game, and it's maybe just getting to them a little bit. And the pressure is there now for the side of Potatoes, because they need to try and take the second map away from the Penguins, but it's going to be difficult. They know what they're up against now, so maybe they can change some strategies coming into the next map, which is Reckoner.
Yep, and I think Reckoner will be a bit more exciting of a match, because no team really has a defined play style where they excel in Reckoner. Everyone's kind of even out, and they kind of employ the same strategies into Reckoner, because I mean, it's not really a map that favors any of these play styles in particular. But we are going to this second map, and as much as I thought that it would be a 5-3, it was actually a much closer game than I thought. In the process, it was a butt clenching down to the last second, 3-4. So predictions are off slightly. But now we look at the logs though, and we do see top frag coming out by Larky, coming out with 19 frags, significantly outfragging everyone, especially his own teammates. Looks like Shocky's not really having that great of a game. Shocky going 6-14, and his demo man going 7-5. Yeah, well, it was a really stalemated game though, to be fair, but
We'll say that, but it was 4-3. That is a lot of rounds. 7 rounds in that game in 30 minutes. That's a lot of rounds.
Score doesn't really make it obvious that there was so many stalemates though, but it's fine. Moving on, we look at the highest damage. Looks like the highest damage is actually going to come out from Larky as well. So Larky having the best game of his life right here. Most damage and most frags of the entire map, of the entire server. So there's that. But looking at the enemy team instead, I think TJ also had a pretty good game himself. Not really going close in terms of kills, 13 compared to Larky's 19 in terms of this Pocket Scout matchup, but damage coming out very, very similar. 222 DPM for TJ when Larky has 234.
To be fair though, I have to say this. I think TJ played a totally different style other than the Clerk, because what he was doing here was he was definitely the reason he has 6 deaths and only 6 deaths, and the reason why Slayer only has 2 deaths is because TJ really likes to hang around Slayer. He likes to get him out of those situations using that medic move speed on the scout, and that's just the way he plays, because he knows that if he keeps his medic alive longer, you tend to win more games because you get more Ubers out, because you give yourself more chances of doing last pushes. And I think that's just the way he plays. And that's the reason why he only had 6 deaths. And as you can see on the heals as well, taking 24% heals. He just hangs around his medic all the time, takes all of the Ubers, and then destroys them with it, and like really one-man armies it for his team. So I just think that's the only difference between that in the damage, to where he isn't fighting constantly where Leclerc is. Analysis, boys.
Yeah, and speaking of the deaths as well, I think it really shows how the deaths come out for the medic respectively as well. TJ playing that uber ultra pocket scout role does protect his medic so well that Slayer only had 2 deaths in the entire map. So I think that's very impressive. 2 deaths on the medic for 30 minutes is huge. It's insane. I think that's
especially in such a back and forth game, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So that's a show of how Pingu does really value that what do you say, balled up combo playstyle, where they have the scout just constantly revolving around the medic like a sun.
Yeah, you got the 6-man
and the sun. Yeah. But looking into the second map, what do you predict this scoreline would be?
Well, from what we saw in the last game, taking it away from that, I think this game on this map really is down to a little bit of demo man gameplay in my eyes. Like, whenever I've played this map, it's been like, you can bomb your demo into last, you can bomb your demo on the mids, you can bomb him on the seconds. Like, there's just so much room and such high skyboxes. And
you can even bomb last.
Bomb a demo, yeah. So, like, bombing a demo into last is like one of the best things you can do on this map, in my opinion. So, that being said, I kind of prefer Itachi on this one. I have to say that I think the Penguins are actually going to win this one, just because they will be able to use TJ's ability to hold the W key with Slayer in combination with Itachi's Demo Man talents. That's what I think is going to come forwards for this team. So I'm going to say it's going to be probably another fast game, but I think we're going to see a 4-1 for the side of the Penguins, in my opinion. I think that they're going to have a good first round on potatoes, and then we're going to see the Penguins like getting their stride.
4-1. Is it a close 4-1 or like a convincing 4-1?
I'm going to say it's going to be like it's going to be a close 4-1. I don't think they're going to take it all the way. I think there's going to be a few mistakes. Like maybe a few teething problems potentially, but who knows? We'll see. What is your prediction?
Right. I think Potato Photo will win this map, but really close. I think it's gonna be a 5-4. Yeah, probably not 5. I did 5 last time and it failed. I'm gonna go with 4-3 this time. 4-3 as well. So 4-3, 4 in favor of Potato Photo, coming out really close and really butt-clenchingly in the last few moments, as it was in the previous map. I think that's gonna be the way it is. But speaking of those, the demo man play, I think the biggest difference between Itachi and the Potato Demo Man, I believe it's Tibet, is that Tibet actually had way more heals than Itachi. Itachi was like around the low 20s, right? And Tibet had the highest heals, 29% in fact. So I think the heals are going to be a huge factor in what determines the outcomes of all of these fights. But we are going live into this second map of CP Reckoner in this lower bracket finals of Club Penguin Crusaders against Potato Photo. Club Penguin Crusaders are, remind you, one map up in this series. So if Club Penguin Crusaders win this map again, then Potato Photo are out of the lower bracket final, so they cannot afford to lose this map. So looking at this mid, I'm going to watch the Potato Photo Demo Man with that huge fancy name. Looks like they're gonna roll out through the standard way. Yeah, not much difference in there. And he's just gonna try to lob stickies across the enemy crate, trying to prevent TJ from blocking out that crates, and he does take so much damage. Banana does going for a bomb though, and he doesn't really get anything. Smiley as well, and now two players are down. Slayer's gonna get caught out of position here, and it's just Itachi left alive in cargo. He's probably not even going to get out. He does get out. Great job. He did the sticky jump, and he did get out, and he stays alive. But full Uber ad for Potato Photo.
Yeah, that first mid, like I thought it would be, would just be a complete crush before they start getting their wheels in gear. So, Club Penguin Crusaders, they're really taking a big hit there. The aggression was just too much for them on that mid entirely, though. Just losing DM fights their front center. But it looks like they're going to be having last push here through the right-hand side, and they have opted to go the right direction. They have managed to take down the sentry gun before the Uber comes out, but they have now popped this Uber. The Cluck, only just finding a flash, they have got stickies on the point, they're clearing them up now. They are focusing onto TJ, but he's getting arrowed up, but they do just stand on the cap, and that's going to be round number 1 to the side of Potatoes, so good start for them.
Yeah, really fast round as well. It's only been a minute and a half, and there's already been a 1-0 scoreline on this map. And so looking at this mid again, I'm gonna watch the same demo man, Tibet, on this mid. He's probably going to do the same thing again, as it worked out well last time. Sort of, he's not, okay, now, he's basically doing the same thing. Lobbing stickies onto the enemy crates, preventing them from having any sort of high ground. And it looks like that's going to make them not care, and Banana does do a pencil jump of some sort, Smiley going for a bomb somewhere, and it looks like everyone on Pingu is just so cramped up in this choke point at cargo, and the soldier bombs are coming out and cleaning up all these frags. It's no one left alive, it's a full wipe. Potato Photo wins this mid again.
Yeah, there's just no plan on this mid. They're all sitting back and deciding to eat damage and like stay on the crates, and neither team is doing anything. And it's just like, you know, Potatoes are deciding they're going to make the first move, and as soon as they send bombs, they counter bomb really hard and they commit more players. And the side of Pingus, they only commit like one player to doing anything, and then they just lose out the mid because they're not doing anything. And they are ending up in these situations where they have full Uber disad on this last push. So, I mean, I'm not sure how they're going to salvage this one. They have managed to get a level 1 sentry gun, but the push should be coming in any second now from the blue side.
Yep, and they are walking in through the left side right now from the defender's perspective. The Ubers are already popped up, but the sentry down hasn't go down. It's down right now, but Daylight does go down in the process of something, and it looks like the Demo Man is also dying as well. They're losing their players right here, and there's not really much I can do against in this last push anymore because of that heavy and losing their own Demo Man. So everyone's just dying, losing their health, trying to salvage anything. Oh, Slayer does survive that bomb by Shocky. They were doing a last-ditch attempt, trying to do a Hail Mary kamikaze, but doesn't get anything. Slayer just dodging out the rocket. But we do see a hider in that underground area. Daylight is actually in this sewer, and no one sees him. He's jumping into Lasses right now, and no one knows he's on Last. He's backcapping, but the cap is already so close, and they do get the cap. Pingu do not have to fear. While Potato tried. Oh no! Slayer dropped to a bomb by Shocky, and that's a full wipe by Potato, but Slayer losing out that full Uber ad, and I don't think that they can do anything else other than just capping out this midpoint, and that was not supposed to happen.
You don't split your forces when you've got the advantage on the cap, lads. Like, you had so much cap time there, you didn't need to send all those players back. You could just capped it out, left them behind, and then gone forwards. even though they were aggressing into you, which is fine because you managed to get the cap anyway. So just setting yourself up in a position to block those players is probably better, and they lost Slayer for it. And he did drop his Uber there, unfortunately. Because the team was so split, he just had no one defending him because TJ went back to deal with the soldier. And as soon as he splits off from Slayer, their team crumbles. So that's just sort of how they play, unfortunately. So it was just a good job from the blue side to capitalize on the red team splitting their forces. And they are going to end up losing second here because of this.
Yeah, and there's not really much that Pingu could do against this second push as well, because the Uber charge is already in the hands of IS, but during that whole time, for how much time they took to push into second, Slayer actually built so well. They do have Uber to defend this last, coming back out from a 60% disadvantage, but the Uber's gonna get popped out, and there's already 2 players down for Pingu. Now they're gonna get the Uber popped out on Fushi on that heavy class, but everyone on Potato is just kiting out of that, just making that Uber entirely useless. But while they kite out the players, the respawns are coming out for Pingu, and it's just Smiley left alive trying to defend that point. And Smiley does die though, and the respawn is gonna come out right now, but there's not really much they can do against that ground control that Potato have, and they just cap out that last point again. 2-0 on that.
Yeah, that was just a very, very slow sort of last push. The focus was there. They managed to get the heavy down from some long-range damage, comboed in with Leclerc's scout as he stood on the point and sacrificed his own life to start that cap, and then they managed to finish it off at the end because of the pressure on that cap point. But we are seeing Smiley actually doing things on the Smith with a double bomb as they go into AS, but they don't find him. It's actually going aggressive. It does manage to clean him up there, but for what cost? And now they've lost a bunch of players on the side of the red team, but they've lost even more on the side of the blue team as Daylight gets shot into the earth and TJ with the cleanup. And finally, Pingu managed to win out a mid. And Leclerc now coming in to try and get Slayer. Does land so much damage, but doesn't find the frag.
Yeah, and that was so close. That was a Monka moment for Slayer. Just coming out the corner and suddenly a scout's in your face, hits a meat shot on you, and you're like, oh man, will they miss? But that scout did miss in the end. And Slayer does stay alive, having that full Uber charge to push into second and probably into last as well. And that double bomb right there was probably not really that fruitful. Not really much coming out of the double bomb, but Itachi coming out in the end with 2 frags and on that medic as well. So that just pretty much secured them the mid, and they just needed to just play around that heal advantage that they had. And now they're gonna pop out the Uber into last. They do pick out the sentry really early, but there is a heavy, but there's not really much a heavy is doing right now. He's just sitting out so far away from the point, there's not really much he can contest. But the players, as they try to go onto the point, they get bombed by a soldier from the spawn and just died, and now it's a full wipe.
Yeah, that last push was potato to the max. Like, once again, they're doing this thing where they didn't even need to pop there. Like, there was no pressure on Slayer. He was still 150 HP. And they decided that they weren't going to look into last before they went in with the Uber. And they just committed to Ubering through the door, and they had so much ground to cover that they didn't cover as much as they needed to or find any damage with the Uber. And they just ended up getting crushed, and it was just a total disaster from the side of Pingu. But they are trying to make something happen. Oh my god, Fushy with the drop into AS with a double meat shot there. That was insane coming out from him. And that is going to cost them the Uber charge, and now Tiltproof Slayer now with the Uber ad.
I did not expect Fushi to be able to drop that medic right there. I thought Smiley going for the bomb and not getting anything would just prompt Pingu to be like, alright, we tried for a sec, but we didn't get anything. Let's just stay back and build our Uber and hope for a good defense. But Fushi going in for the hero play, and he does 2-shot that medic into oblivion and drops that Uber charge, and now Slayer has a hefty Uber ad, 60%, but it looks like Potato are actually pushing to second, even though they do have this ad, and Clarky's got to go down in that process. Daylight's jumping in to get nothing, and IS is also going to die in that process. Shocky was trying to bomb the medic, but Slayer was just juking around him, around that forklift, and just lost that line of sight to that soldier, and they did it all in. And while I respect that all or nothing mentality, they did wipe, and I think that's kind of questionable at this point.
Yeah, I agree with that entirely. Tiltproof Slayer now with the still full Uber advantage, and AS only just spawning. Leclerc is up on the engineer class trying to get that sentry gun built before this last push comes in. And let's see if they can actually look into last before they do the push, because if they can spot that sentry gun, they can spam it, take it down, and then push through. And they should also check for stickies if they're going in here, which they have managed to clear them out, but they just uber through this doorway once again. The pressure is there though this time to force that one out. They have now spotted the sentry gun, and TJ's getting absolutely annihilated by it. He's stuck in a corner, he's getting bombed by soldiers, and Shocky is going in deep behind him, and he does manage to find him. Actually, no, never mind. TJ manages to turn around and two-shot him, so he's now dead. And Smiley going in, Banana going in as well, but they all just die, and this is an absolute disaster, and that is a total wipe. And like I said before, these guys need to look into last before you push, please.
I think one major reason why they've been failing all these Uber pushes is that they insta-pop, right? They insta-pop that through that corner and let the Demoman jump into them. But the Demoman's just not really getting much in the end. Like, they do jump into a heavy, but that it's not really much other than just that, and basically committing the entire Uber charge onto that spawn door. And while it can be something, but they just don't get that cap in the end, and that's all that matters. But we do see them trying to we do see Potato pushing into second as we speak, and now we do see Banana going in for a bomb to the medic. The medic is so low, he's 40 health, but he doesn't pop. There was a great effort by Banana, but even better play by the medic to not drop or get forced by Banana right there. Strucker does die in that process though, and that's not really what you want. But that might be never mind. I thought that it would be like perfect timing, you know. Strucker might go sniper, but it looks like he's just gonna stay on scout this time.
Yeah, AS there doing the calculations in his head. He didn't need to worry there. He knew that he fired one rocket and totally missed, so there's only two rockets. He was probably going to beef the other one since he had the high ground. So just well played from him to not pop out that Uber. He knew he was safe, and it looks like I'm going to be able to start doing this last push. It's actually opted for the stickies at main. Kind of not a very good sticky trap often, but he also has one against the right-hand side and does find a daylight with that. But we're seeing Banana going for the bomb, and he is going to nearly find the demo out, and TJ comes in for the cleanup as the insurance policy to make sure that they won't be able to save the demo man on the blue side. And Stroker is now in lower, taking a 1v1 with the soldier, and somehow wins that. Hello.
Well, that was supposed to be like a clean push into second because the demo man pick right there, but they don't get that clean of a push. But they do pick up Straka in the end of those exchanges, and Daylight as well dying to TJ with that pistol, with the winger. And now Pingu are gonna be free to just walk in through lower here. They are going to go and wrap through the right side, and the Uber is gonna get traded out by both sides. And it's just a TJ Uber. The Uber is so much longer for Potato though, but they are going to have to back out. And the medic is so low, he takes so much damage. Itachi ends up dying trying to chase that frag onto the medic. And now Banana also dying. Now the tables have turned. Now two players are down for Pingu, and now they have to be on the back foot. And Smiley might even get caught out here. He doesn't, and that's just good. But those two players going down there lost them that mid fight, and now Potato are walking into second here, and they are going through Toxic. Smiley trying to do a bomb but doesn't get anything. Slayer in the meantime took so much damage, he's basically crippled. He was 5 health and he can't really heal anyone in the front lines. He does get his regen now though, and he's now 100 health, and that's safe enough for him. But while he was back there, he couldn't really heal his players out in the front line, and they're all dying. Smiley and Fishy already died, and now we do see Lucky getting caught up by TJ though. TJ hitting his shots to pick up that frag, and now the tables have turned again, and now Pingu are pushing into mid, and now Potato are the ones on the back foot. But Banana comes in with a huge bomb from the flank, and nobody saw him coming in from there. And TJ does pick up Shocky, and 3 players down for Potato. So I think Pingu are gonna have to they're gonna push into second with this advantage, and yes, they are. Banana going a bit too early there and dying and losing that soldier class for the utility of soldier, you know. But whatever, 3 players are down for Pingu, and now the tables have turned again, and now Pingu are on the back foot, and Potato are walking into mid right now. It's all on Larky to see if they can push him out. He does eat a fat pipe, but that's all that they can get, and I think this is where it stabilizes.
Yeah, that was just stupid DM fights left, right, and center. I mean, TJ wanted to lead his team in a bunch of times, and he did actually manage to, you know, before in one of the Uber trades, because we've had two since, you know, all that shit started happening, and he just led through on his own, managed to get the solo Ubers every time, and the blue team kept flashing, so they just ended up with, you know, TJ long Ubers, and the rest of the red side, they just split up, made it really hard to kite any players into a position where they would have to actually perish, and it was just really hard for the blue side to really do anything against the TJ Ubers, and they got shoved backwards, but then the over-aggression came out, they got fragged, and then that was it, as we see Banana going for sack play, and he just dies, and nothing really happens, and we should see the cats come out in a second.
That was a pretty well-timed bomb by Banana though, doing a high bomb from Toxic, and the medic does hit a really good reaction time serve. But Daylight going in for another counter sack. Not really a counter sack, he went in for a sack, but he does die, and looks like Pingo are actually going to push off this soldier frag right here. The Uber's going to get popped off onto TJ right now, and TJ's trying to chase the combo, trying to get the force out, and they do get the force. And now the Ubers are fading for Snake, he's in the sky, he's going to get caught out. He does die, and in the process of that though, TJ does pick up the Demoman frag, and the medic Ayas also dies as well. While the player advantage is in the favor of Potato, but the players are actually not healthy for Potato, and they don't have a medic at this time, and it's all just Fishy alive. He's going to go on a 2v1 in Toxic, and Strucker and Larky just playing it well and not letting each other die, and it's just capping out the second point right now.
Yeah, I mean, they managed to find the special sauce to defeat the TJ solo Ubers, and that is just, you know, stand far back, make them try and cover that space, because TJ can't cover that entire mid in the amount of time that he needs to actually force out that Uber. So all they did was they stood really far back, let them Uber early, because that's what they keep doing, because they don't actually look into anywhere before they Uber. And they Ubered through. It took forever for TJ to find the force. And as soon as he did find it, they got stickied off, and then, you know, Slayer gets skyboxed, and then that's the end of him. So they finally found how to defeat the TJ, which they should have been doing all along from the start. But now it's 77% Uber to Slayer, 90% to AS, so they shouldn't push this. They should not push this.
They're pushing off of even. This
okay.
might be disastrous for them actually. We do see Smiley trying to do a bomb onto them. They don't even have Uber charge yet, and he's trying to go for a force. Slayer's so low though. One bomb and he's probably going to pop that Uber, but it looks like Potato are leaving because of that player disad. They do lose Strucker and Daylight somewhere in that fight, in that exchange, and Banana also dying. I think it's just gonna be a stabilize, and that was so weird, but it worked out. They pushed off of even from the low ground actually, so somehow it worked.
I mean,
but, hey.
yeah, they caught one player off guard on the crate, and then he got taken down, and then that was sort of like the spelling of a good start for that fight. So I would have committed to that if originally I wouldn't have committed to an even fight there, but I would just sad the stalemate. But they found Shocky in behind, and they do take him down. So now there's only just a player spawning on the side of the blue team, and they have a player taken down, which is you know, the special source to make a push try and happen. There are stickies on this drop down area, or one sticky on the drop down area, and it looks like Banana is going to go in for the sack here. He peeks in, spots the stickies, calls them out for his team, but now the demo man's been jumped upon, and he just isn't paying attention to the trap. So you are seeing the Ubers
but the force though.
get force, yeah, and TJ is now just leading this one once again, and we are seeing the flashing coming out from the blue side. Slayer is now out of there. TJ is stuck in. And is getting bombed by Daylight right now, but he's taking the 1v1, and it looks like he's going to win this one, but Slayer goes very low there. He eats a bunch of damage from the blue demo man. Itachi trying to win this 1v1 as Slayer gets taken down eventually, and he does, and in fact created there for his troubles, but he did so much work, the work has been done, he doesn't need to survive anymore, and now it's going to be a win coming out from the side of Potatoes, and Banana, the only man left to defend this mid, and he's just going to yeet out.
Yeah, that was kind of looking to be quite a long fight, but Slayer going down so low there, being so low, couldn't really heal his teammates right in the front line, and that's just allowed Potato to do so much more damage and win the attrition fight. But oh no, Fishy on Sniper, he actually body shots Ayas, and that's a medic down for Potato. And yeah, it looks like that happened, and I don't think Pinko are actually trying to push out this time though. It looks like they're gonna... Right, they're pushing out right now. They were building on last just for a bit, so right now they are walking out, and it's just totally free for them. They do spot out the soldier that was hiding out in the corner, and Daylight doesn't get anything off of that hiding play, and it looks like they're gonna cap off second for for free and not much contest. But it looks like, yeah, and Pingu are gonna step forward on that gas. They do have Uber ad still, and the Uber is gonna get popped out right now by TJ. But Potato is just so far back. The Uber is totally useless, doesn't get anything, and now Itachi's trying to come in to get something. But Straka does die to him, but Itachi dies instead in the process of that.
Yeah,
so.
I told you, like they just stand too far back. Like TJ can't cover that gap. Like he's trying to take these solo Ubers in. They know that they're going to do them because that's all they do. And they've managed to get this cap, and they are just going to wrap them now to see if they can get onto the second area and start capping this one out, which they do. And it looks like Itachi's now in behind. Elias actually goes down to Fushi in the backline on the mid there, which is just total chaos play coming out from the side of Pingu's. They're just all over the place right now, and the blue team really don't know how to respond to this, but they responded so well to the TJ solo Uber, but now they've just fallen under the pressure of the chaos.
Yeah, it looks like, oh, Lucky almost got cut out right there. Banana going for a bomb though. He almost gets Lucky. Lucky does die. He craters to his death. And that's 2 down for Potato. They are down both scouts as well. Straka's only spawning right now, so that's 1 down. But full Uber ad for Pingu, and looks like they're gonna push in right now. They are going from a different entrance this time though, and they're gonna melt this heavy. Potentially they are. But everyone from Potato rotated through spawn, and they had enough time while that happened. And now they're gonna try to bait the point. The damage is coming out, and Pingu are standing on the point. There's not much that they can do anymore, and they do get this cap. Now it's 2-1 in the scoreline.
Finally, jeez. That last push was a bundle of DM fights and not a lot of strategy. There was no focus, and then they just luckily won it out, in my opinion. They all went for the heavy, but after that, it was just like free reign on whoever they wanted to shoot at. And it was just, you know, I would say a very fluked last push, but there you go. And we are now coming into the next mid. Let's see if Pingu can make something happen to make it 2-2 and even up the scores. We are seeing the bombs come in from the soldiers to try and get AS, and they've managed to find the clerk. In fact, he does a get down Mr. President maneuver. Daylight going down on his bomb as well, so Slayer is totally safe at the minute, as there's no soldier aggression left, as Shocky is now getting out of there. He is too low to make anything happen, and they are going to just push forward here with the heals, and AS needs to get out of there as the pressure is now coming in from Itachi, and they find Strelka. He is the one that sacrifices his life for the Holy Medic, and AS manages to get out of there with his demo man, but the aggression may continue from the side of Pingu's.
Yeah, Pingu just stepping on that gas, not letting go, and looks like Banana tried to go in for a sack play just now and doesn't get anything off of that. The players are still even for both sides, but looking at that mid, just that double soldier bomb from Banana and Smiley doing so much for the team and just lets them walk out. But it looks like they're gonna actually exchange right here. Yeah, the Ubers are gonna exchange for both teams, and it's just Larky trying to pick up anything. Daylight does pick up Smiley though, and that's just 1 player down for Pingu. And Itachi might get caught out of position here as well. He does die, and TJ is also going to die. Banana is also going to die. It's just Fushi and Slayer left alive, but they're not even connected together. And right now they are, so that's gonna be a slight Uber disadvantage for Slayer, and it looks like Potato are gonna walk into mid for free.
Absolute disasters. Like, it's so hard to watch this. There's just so much really bad stuff coming out from both of these teams, but it just seems like Pingu are just crumbling under the pressure of trying to get these rounds. They still have 7 minutes on the clock. They have time that they can use. They don't need to W into places all the time and just get absolutely crushed. It's now even Ubers though, and it looks like there are no off classes, so we're just going to see a bit backwards and forwards here. But if I was the blue team, I'd be very content to just, you know, take your time, chill out. You don't need to do anything. You're 2-1, you're in the lead. Just wait for the other team to make mistakes and make the moves.
Just like leave that vehicle stationary, you know, like a particularly large size vehicle that sometimes goes by the name of a bus, and just leave it like sitting there. And I think that might be something that they're trying to do, but Pingu's not gonna let them do that. You see TJ gonna peek really hard from the lower area here. He almost gets caught up, but he knows how much of his boundaries that he can step. He doesn't die to that double soldier bomb onto him, and I think that's just gonna be the same thing again by them. They are down 1 round, and there's only 6 minutes and a half left remaining on this map. So it's all up to Pingu right now to just try to see if they can get something. So we do see soldiers of Pingu. Oh wait, they're gonna actually Uber exchange right now onto this mid, and it's just a TJ Uber again, and trying to see if he can pick up anything, but Smiley and Banana do go down. They only pick up Shocky in return though, and Tachi is also going to get caught out from somewhere. And now 3 players are down for Pingu. And that might just be so questionable, trying to push off of
Why
nothing.
are they still trying? Like, they are still trying to do these TJ Ubers. They haven't worked the last 4 times that they've done it. And why are they still trying? They need to switch it up, do something different. Because they are just getting crushed on these Uber charges in situations where they should be really, you know, doing their best to try and win this game, as they are 2-1 down, and they probably don't want to take it to a third map. Because why would you like to go to 3 when you can just take 2? And it's just becoming a little bit sloppy from them, but it's just a DM-happy TJ that wants to take all the money for himself, and he is unable to do this in a lot of situations, and it's just losing them fights.
I think it's also a show of. I think it's also a show of how Potato doesn't just die to gimmicks like that. You know, well, it is a dumb play. Sometimes dumb plays do work, but every single time that they tried to do it, it just hasn't come up with anything good. And I think that's just a testament of how Potato players are expecting of something like that. And Banana did die somewhere trying to get a force or something, but he doesn't get anything. And Strucken right now on Sniper. He's gonna try to peek and see if he can get anything, but at this point Strucker doesn't even have to be that aggressive, although he is. We do see Banana actually jumping from behind. Doesn't get anything though, and now it's just the same thing again. Strucker hard scoping around the corner trying to get a sniper, a medic rather.
Oh, Smiley gets taken down as well. There's 2 players down for the side of the red side, so this is going to mean a blue team push as they are now coming in on the right hand side. Uber still hasn't been popped. Very well played from AS there. Leclerc now receiving the supercharges. They have gone for the solo Uber once again onto TJ as Itachi got taken down in the backline there. So they are now Smiley is still down, only just getting his respawner. And his Uber charge is now fading for the red side, and they have no position. They are all on the low ground. AS just trying to heal up his team, does go insanely low as Smiley gets taken down once again upon respawn. Shocky taking that room for his team. The heavy on the side of the red team is still up, and there's no real pressure onto him right now. And he's just receiving all of the beam, and the blue team need to get the hell out of dodge as all of the players are insanely weak, and they are just going to get fragged up here.
Yeah, and the medic does die as well. Itachi did pick up that medic frag on IS, and so that's huge because that gives Slayer basically full advantage. But we do see some backcap, cheeky backcap attempts. Larky right now, he gets spotted out and just gets instantly deleted by TJ. So that's 3 down for Potato. Fishy did die, and he's still only respawning right now though. But they are, Pingua, they are going to push in the mid here with that full Uber ad. And so we do see Potato is trying to send a soldier to put on some pressure on that combo, but there's not really much that they can do. But the Ubers are already popped up by TJ and gets nothing as well again.
I'm adding this to my tally. We're on 7 Ubers wasted by TJ Wing in and doing nothing. It's actually getting stupid how they keep trying this, and it's just not working. It's insane, like how they keep doing this. They need to make something different happen because it's 2-1. They need to do something, man. Otherwise, they're gonna have to go to a third map, and maybe they're content with doing that. Maybe they just don't want to play Reckoner anymore. Who knows? But Smiley's in a position hiding, waiting for the Uber advantage to come through, and let's see where they push through with this one. And AS
is
now
also hiding,
Uber, but he's not. They're opting not to use it, in fact.
Oh, it looks. Fushi was hiding. Looks like it's not hiding anymore since they have the Uber. But well, at this point, Potato doesn't even have to push. They can just stalemate and waste time because it's all up to Pingo to try to do something because it's only 2 minutes left, and they are down the round. So they could just sit here and just wait. And they are fully expecting someone to do something. Banana does do the something. He does hit a
nice
good
bomb.
rocket onto IS and does get the force out. A really good force out by Banana. And right now, while they are 2 players down, Pingu, they look like they want to push it. Right now, they look like they don't want to. Yeah, they are pushing into cargo. Maybe not. They are.
Alright, so this is the opportunity, right? This is the opportunity, right, where you start spotting them out, you play slow, you do not lead on TJ. You get Itachi and you get your other scouts and you just peek. You don't need to use your Uber here unless they bomb the crap out of you and you get forced. And look, they know where the soldiers are and they still haven't popped out the super. This is very good coming out from them. This is what they should have been doing all along. And they have managed to find all these picks, but once again, the beam is now attached to TJ, and I hope they don't rush this one, because they should just get their players ready for this last push. As TJ's just running in, none of the players on the red side have buffs, and they're going into last. And they've only got 3 players. in this Uber, and there's just nothing happening. Although they do get the sentry gun, and they are pressuring this cap, because all the players on the blue side are now dead, but we are seeing the collapse coming from the blue side onto this point, and it looks like Slade's going to Uber throw a player off the point, but the blue side all respawn in time for this, because the red team ran in with the TJ Uber, for God's sake, and they didn't Uber any other players. Yeah, that was very close, but if you look there, it's just like, once again, it's just a true telling of, they don't buff up any players before they go in, because they're so focused on getting that TJ Uber in.
Yeah, and that was pretty much a really easy last push as well, because IS was actually not alive for basically the entire fight there.
The entire time, yeah. They should just wait and chill out. They don't need to go in straight away, it's just a bit silly.
But 20 seconds actually, they are gonna go for a dry push this time. There's not really much choices that they have left at this rate. So Banana's going to do the early bomb, but he's going against a sentry and a heavy, and there's not really much you can do when you have two aim bots just looking at you like that, and everyone's just gonna get mulched into nothing. It's gonna be the third map.
Yeah, that's 8 by the way. 8 Ubers wasted just on TJ, just running him in. I can't wait to see how many heals he had this game. It's going to be ridiculous, but that's GG's in the chat, as it is going to be Potato winning that one. So it looks like we are now going to Snakewater for our decider, and I was not kind of expecting, well, your prediction of Pingu still winning is still out there, but let's see how they actually decide to play Snakewater, if they play it any differently, because it is a whole different kettle of fish.
Yeah, looking at Snakewater, I think Snakewater traditionally is the Koreans map, because they just love doing that double bomb into Saw or like lower, and then they just land in front of your medic and sink your medic, and there's not really much you can do unless you go all the way to catwalk in your rollout. So traditionally Koreans excel at Snakewater, but that's not to say that Pingu aren't good at it as well. I think they are also very good at it. But looking at the logs first, looks like highest damage coming out from Shocky this time. Complete turnaround from his previous map. He's gonna get 316 damage, out damaging everyone in the server. And that's really nice. He's the only one who hit 300 and above actually. But looking at the rest, looking at the highest frags this time, we do see Larky coming out with highest frags, way more frags than anyone else in the server, coming out with 31 frags, and this time nobody has reached over 30 frags. So Larky also having a really good game, in fact a really good game this entire series, not just from this map. It has been carried on from the previous map as well. But looking at the competition, TJ is only going to come up with 24 frags and 260 damage. He did come out third in third place in damage though, so not a slouch by him, but 2 players.
He was leading everything though, like he was just Wing all the time, like he was on the offensive all the time with the heal beam, stuck up his butt with 32% heals for him in that game, receiving over 10,000 heals, and out of the 14 Ubers they had, he took 8 and was just Wing with them uselessly. So that is why they lost. Like, come on man, come on!
That heal percentage is more how I'm used to seeing traditionally. But looking at Potato's heal percentage instead, it is the same story again. The Demo Man getting the highest heals, this time 28%, just 1% off from last map. But the difference is the Demo Man does do a lot for the team. Yeah, you can't deny that.
Yeah,
but looking at Larky,
Itachi did really well in that game, I think. Like, he did a really good job of, like, trying to fight around not being Ubered, like, the entire game. Because, you know, TJ was taking all those Ubers, and he was just trying to sticky off players, deal loads of damage for his team, and he was doing a really good job with that. But on the other side, you see, you know, on MacTig, I can't pronounce that name, I'm not even going to try. So the blue Demo Man, he did 28% heals, but he did work with those heals. He stickied off the red Ubers every time, and like whenever he got those Ubers, he did work. He had stickies in the right places at all the right times. I'm going to give my like man of the match to the blue Demo Man. He did so well during that game, as we are now onto Snakewater as well.
Yeah, I can't really disagree with you there. But I think the biggest difference between Larky and TJ right now in terms of that pocket scout matchup is that Larky only needs 25% heals to do significantly better than TJ, who has 32% heals.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, Banana suffering there at the bottom with his 13%. I know he's on Roma, but also Smiley suffering. I think that's one of the biggest ones. You don't want your pocket soldier to be, you know, receiving that little. I know you can, like, in this day and age, you want to heal your scouts, get them forwards, do all that fun stuff, but Smiley is, you know, he needs a bit of heals. He needs to be able to actually get these effective bombs rather than going in only on 200 HP. Otherwise, you're going to bomb and just get insta-denied by scouts. So maybe they should just take their time a little bit. They have time that they can use in a lot of these scenarios. So let's see if they can identify that and make something different happen. Although I said that during process and nothing changed. So, you know, I'm actually going to throw a prediction out there that I think Potatoes are actually going to come away with a win here.
You know what? Because you predict for the Koreans, I'm going to predict for Pingu. What's your scoreline?
Scoreline, I think, is going to be... I'm going to say we're going to have 3-2. I think it's still going to be close. I think it's going to go backwards and forwards, but they're going to take it overall.
I think it's going to be a close game as well this time. I'm thinking 3-1. That's my scoreline. But a close one. Yeah, looks like we're going live already though. So
speed.
Looking at this mid, I think I'm gonna watch Itachi this mid. Give him some of the attention. Itachi cam. Yeah, look. Yeah, we are going live very soon.
Good luck, have fun in the chat, ladies and gentlemen, for this final game of this lower bracket final between Potato Photo and Club Penguin Crusaders. And I'd like to see your predictions in the chat, ladies and gentlemen, for who you think is going to win in this game, as it is the final map. Is it going to go to a golden cap in your opinion? Let us know in the chat as we are getting this mid underway.
Yeah, and now we see Itachi on this mid here, just doing the standard thing, trying to prevent the enemy team from trying to gain any ground, any substantial ground. But we do see double bomb coming up by Banana and Smiley, and Banana does get out, but Smiley does not. And right now, no players have fallen yet for Potato. And as we said, and that is the one that I always talk about. The Koreans just do a coordinated double soldier bomb like that, and you just get synced out. This time the demo does die, but they get wrapped around, and Aya's dying. But it looks like Slayer is going to die anyway. There's a scout on his ass, and yeah, you can't
Slayer
really...
goes down as well.
Oh, but it's a full
He got
wipe,
picked
though.
off by Leclerc. Yeah, in the backlines, he managed to get in there and get the pick onto Slayer, which is going to mean that Ace is going to spawn with an uber advantage because Slayer died so late there. As they decided to not commit to the escape, they just stayed for the fight, which they shouldn't have done, and they should have known that Ace was dead and backed out of that one, but they opted not to do it on the back of that fight. But it was a really good mid coming out from Potatoes, actually. They just lost out on the afterfight just because they were getting flanked and they weren't grouping up together as a team, and they should have potentially done that in order to make more players survive and kept hold of that midpoint. But just unfortunate for them, as they are now going to have this little stalemate on second, and it
nope,
actually
not a stalemate.
evened out. Okay,
they are actually going for a dry push. They are going for a dry push right here. Pingu going to walk in from lower. Slayer though is really low, and there's not really much can do. But Ayas does die to Itachi, as he always dies to Itachi. And now we're gonna start to see desperation coming out from the Potato soldiers right there. Shocky trying to do a bomb all the way from bats, and Strux tries to go in. Strux does not get anything as well, and now it's just a demo man left alive, trying to get anything, but there's probably nothing they can do at this rate. He's gonna get chased by TJ. TJ's gonna actually get a frag onto the demo man. He might even get a soldier as well. He does get daylight, and it's just the frags coming out one by one, going down, and it's just a free push into this last, not free, but you know, really low, really easy push, and it's just a heavy right here trying to do as much as he can. He doesn't get anything. It's just 2 players down. Now the respawn is gonna come out, but if the hold on. Oh, okay. Yeah,
they do win that one out. They went in there. TJ just botting forwards, manages to find 2, just absolute going god mode on that one. If he didn't find those 2 picks, that Uber would have been absolute garbage, but he found those picks and they just leapt on the aggression and went forwards with it, and it was just well played, because they just used the DM abilities of TJ to win that one out, so just well played from him to win out that fight there, to be honest. It wasn't a lot of anything else going on.
Yeah, looking at this mid again, just the same thing again, it's just mirrored not much options anyway in Snakewater, but looks like neither team are trying to do the first move. Now we see Banana doing the first move. He's gonna do a high bomb all the way into Saul, and he does pull Strucker behind on him. But Smiley in the meantime did bomb the medic, and the medic did not have a scout to protect him, and he dies in the process. Now 2 players are down for both sides, but the difference is Pingu does have a medic for them, and looks like they're not gonna over-aggress and just keep their medic alive and just back out. Fushi did die though, he did get caught out of position, but the most important part is that they have full Uber at this Pingu.
Yeah, they finally committed to escaping out of that mid, so they have retained this Uber advantage here, and they didn't lose anyone else for it, so that was just well played from them, understanding what they needed to do there to keep alive. And no traps up from the blue demo man, and he is in fact low as he was escaping for a second. He gets picked up immediately by TJ as Stroker goes in, forces out that Uber on Slayer, and they have now popped that one out, and they're just going to be running out of here. Aos is now escaping with his existence, and Daylight also moving into lower area just to try and escape there, but TJ is just botting forwards without the help of his team. He has just got the beam and nothing else. Smiley going in without a buff. But does manage to force them out there with the aggression as they were 2 down, and just capitalizing on all of that aggression and managing to leapfrog these points.
It is good aggression, but the thing that they have to keep in mind though is that they do have Uber this ad. It's all on to whether or not Potato wants to push out of this 30% ad. I don't think they will, but they do have Uber right now when Slayer is only at 65%. So looks like they're actually gonna walk out here and trying to push out. They have to do it really quick though, because Slayer is already 90% as we speak. Banana did try to go for a flank play at Cheese, but he gets spotted out and he dies. But Ubers are gonna be evened out already at this point. TJ going to go for an exchange right here. He's gonna force out the Uber charge for Potato. Daylight gets flashed just in time.
Oh,
but
no.
In that flash, Larky gets dropped and it's Strucker to have to do something. He picks up Fishy though, but the collapse coming out by Pingu, just killing up all these stragglers right here. It's just a demo man left alive.
It's actually got like a single second of flash, went for a jump, and as soon as he went to jump, the Uber came off and he flew into the skybox. It was so funny. Banana is now getting some pressure onto this cap point, and it looks like TJ is going to finish this one up, and they do manage to get that cap almost blocked by the blue team, but to no avail, and that's going to be 2 over to the side of Pingu.
Yeah, capped out just in time before their feet could touch that point, but now 2-0, we're gonna have to see how Potato adapts to this. They might feel a little bit pressured at this rate, and we might see the signature Korean bomb where they just do a double high bomb all the way into Saw this time, but who knows. But we do see Pingu pushing up really aggressively onto the point right now, and Banana did die in that process. Smiley is also going to be really low. He has to jump out, and basically this is a 1 mid for Potato. Just so much passiveness coming out from Pingu that they had to lose mid. Just the fact that they had to back out.
Yeah, I don't know why they backed out there. Smiley was getting them so much room on that mid. He had the top left roof, and they were all staring at him. They could have just W'd forward at that point, but they all just backed out and saw because they lost 1. And it was a little bit of a misplay, I think, from Pingu, where they had all that room that they could have worked with. Smiley did manage to escape with his life very valiantly, and they picked out Daylight on the retreat out as well. So that was an alright escape, but they shouldn't have been escaping in the first place. But now we've got this even Uber situation and a bit of a stalemate. And we know it to be so difficult to sack into Snakewater second. It's honestly the hardest one to sack into in the game. And the only real routes you have are through lower and window. Coming into Sora is a bit of a suicide sentence.
Daylight looks like he's trying to do a sack from window as well, trying to just see if he can get a window of opportunity. But Banana, roamers think alike. He knows exactly what he's trying to do. He's just constantly pre-firing and spamming that window, not letting Daylight even just stand around the corner. But looks like they're just gonna stabilize here. I think they're gonna get buffed up before they're gonna try something else again. Yeah, it looks like the entire combo is going to go through lower this time. Looks like gonna pull up opening for Daylight. He does jump from window. He did a really good bomb to land in front of the medic, but that's all he could get in the end. And 1 player down for Potato, and looks like Pingu are pushing up really aggressively, trying to put up something for Banana. He doesn't get anything though, and he gets caught out, and it's just that's the end of the trade of this Uber sack attempts, and
yeah,
looks
not
like
already happening there. Just sort of both teams
trying again.
Yeah, go on. No, they're not. They're just leaving there. And looks like they are just going to be chilling out in the Saw area. Not a lot really happening. Neither team opting for a sniper or anything here. They don't want to try and snipe from lower. or try and do another drive push from lower like we saw Pingu doing, but they're just opting that they just want to wait for their respawners, get everyone buffed up, and then make some plays happen, as Stroker is now getting up on the sniper class, like I said before.
Yeah, and Banana is not off-classing this time. So let's see what Stroker can do on that sniper class. This point isn't really that good for sniper as well, because the medic has so much to hide behind, so many fences like placed around this second point. But now we see Stroker trying to peek in from lower, and he does do a shot, but doesn't get anything off of it. And now they know that he's sniping, so he's gonna probably play a little bit backward. Yeah, he's gonna play a little bit back, and Pingu are not going to let them do that. And Daylight's gonna get caught out in lower.
No. This is going to be bad now if they push in here, because they have still got that sniper and they've already lost one. So this is going to be an opportunity here for the red side to start pushing in, as there are stickies on lower and on catwalk, and they haven't been killed yet, and they are just deciding that they're not going to push on this, even though they really could there. They had so much room that they could have worked with, but. I think what you mentioned there about not being able to see the medic is like, you know, you got that tunnel vision kind of thing where you have, you're playing sniper, you must pick medic. No, if you manage to pick a, you know, like a normal class, they're not going to send a sack because they're already one down, number one. And if you find a second pick, then you are, you know, you're in the money. You're going to be able to push second. So you don't always have to go for medics. It's a common misconception and a bit of tunnel visioning that some teams really have, and I think Stroker's having that right now.
Yeah, I think that if Stroker even gets a soldier frag, it might even be something they can work off of. Banana, actually, no, he's gonna back out. It's gonna be a slow game right here. After all, it is up to Potato to try to do something. Stroker gonna rotate his positioning down to Saw this time instead though, and this is not that good for them actually. Now they are gonna lose Stroker and Daylight, and now we see a bomb coming out from Banana. He does get the force as well. That is disastrous, if anything, for Potato.
Yeah, as we are seeing TJ leading the way now. Hopefully they do not pop the Suba, as there are no traps up or anything. And TJ making his way forwards with Slayer just attached to him. And it looks like they are probably... TJ's probably calling for an Uber commit right now, which they shouldn't be doing. They should just take their time with this. You don't need to go in on the Suba, please! As the blue team are now leaving, but TJ's just chasing. He doesn't care. He's actually moving into lower area right now and does in fact back out there. And they are just going to settle for second. Okay, what are they doing? Where is he going? Please don't go into last. I'm so worried about this.
Okay.
No, what are you doing? Don't push into last. They're Ubering in here. The sentry gun is now up, but the respawners are now coming from the blue side, and TJ gets totally caught out. Itachi's going to go down here. It looks like he is going to be caught. Nearly, in fact,
no one's
doesn't manage to survive. No one's standing on the point, yeah, like you said, as TJ botted in, and it's just going to be the blue demo man left alive, and he's going to fight with Banana. Gets air shot by Banana, and that is going to be the rest of the red team coming in here to clean up on this, but I have no idea how they lost that. They should not have lost that.
That was a very scrappy fight, as we can say the least. And as much as I wanted to see a defense coming up, but looks like they're just going to go into this fourth round rather. And looking at this mid again, looks like both teams are gonna play the slow game, just not doing much. And now we do see Banana doing the initiative. He's gonna jump into Saw, Smitey as well going to follow suit, but both soldiers going down for Pingu. Daylight as well trying to do a bomb of some sort, but he did die. And now the players are dropping for Pingu. Fushi's gonna go down, and it's just TJ and Slayer left alive. Now they have to back out, but TJ is caught behind the enemy team. It's just Slayer not building.
I think TJ fancies his chances with the respawners, or is just going to try and get a pick onto AS, but AS is already making his way into second. Or he can try and pressure for a back cap. He has lots of options he can work with right now. Slayer did survive that, like you said, so it's going to be just him, you know, getting out. As yeah, there you go. TJ is now fighting against these respawners. He manages to pick up Stroker, and Daylight finds one rocket onto him, but TJ has the range, and he's just scattergunning him down. So he does deny that guy as well, as Daylight has the backup. And now they're sending so many players back for him. Oh my god, he gets force lifted into the air by Leclerc, and that is going to be the end of TJ's life, and they are going to be able to reset here, and the threat is now down.
Yeah, that was a really really quick heads-up play by the combo actually by Ayas and Larky to just bring that medic and scout, just kill TJ really quick and then go back to the front lines, so that even if Pingu were to try, they can't push off of that. But we do see Shocky trying to go for a skip jump, but he fails the jump and gets instantly SM slapped by Fishy on that heavy, and he's just pushing forward on heavy. Alright, he's going to go back now. Maybe? He's not even... Is he going back? Okay, he's going back. He could have pushed up, but I think they're gonna go for a Highlander hold here. Just gonna park the bus on their own last point. They are up 3-0 and there's only 16 minutes left. It's totally up to Potato to try to do something. And looks like they're gonna do something from that shutter area, I think. Maybe. No, they're not.
Yeah, they have got TJ up on the engineer class right now. He's put that sentry gun in the middle of the grass. Just to try and deny pretty much all the entrances. If they try and send a sack in, that's one of the main reasons for having this. And they've got the heavy weapons guy on the right-hand side. So this is a pretty solid hold coming out from the red team. I mean, it's going to be hard to try and break this or send sacks in, so it's going to be a simple case of spam the gun and kill the dispenser. Push, lads, you destroyed the dispenser! Fantastic pick. That's, yeah, they should just push. Now, the dispenser's down.
They're making a mistake. Oh no, the dispenser's gonna respawn.
No!
It's going to respawn. Shocky, he did go for a bomb of some sort, or a sack play of some sort, but he dies. Oh no, Banana actually gets a drop onto Ayas from somewhere.
No.
I didn't even catch that.
Bombed into lower.
Damn, okay. Smiley is also in lower right now. But I'm pretty sure Pingu are going to push out right now. But Potato are going to probably go for some backup attempts. We do see Struggle lower, he gets spotted out though. And another soldier, Daylight, is also at Cheese. He also gets spotted out, so Pingu doing the methodical approach, just picking out anyone who tries to go behind. But Struggle is going behind again.
Oh no, he gets picked.
He does die though, and Shocky actually going to win that 1v1. He gains a 1v2 against TJ and Fishy. Oh no!
He activated Minecraft mode and pickaxed him to death. That was amazing. Coming out from him there. And this is going to be an opportunity for Daylight to send in maybe a sack if he wants to, but he's just getting loads of room for his team. Leclerc is now in. He's pulling a full TJ and dribbling all over the place as they are managing to get into this last point, and they haven't got the heavy onto the point. The fat poop man is out. AS is going to get caught here potentially, but it is going to be the blue demo man coming in, dealing loads of damage. TJ has respawned, and this is a disaster for the blue team, but they are sending the soldier to the point. Shocky gets the cap. Oh
damn, the medic was on point. The medic was actually on point. Slayer just got one shot from behind through that crack, that hole at the side of the point, and Shocky just walked up to the point and kept it in time, and the scouts didn't have the enough of a reaction time to turn back in time. In fact, it was probably impossible for them to just hold S in time. But now 3-1 on the scoreline. They are going to this mid again. We see Daylight actually flanking behind though, so some play coming up from Potato. Now Shocky gonna try to do a bomb, but he does get instantly demolished. Now Daylight, when he bombs in, he doesn't get anything, and it's just Potato on the back foot. Ayas does die in the process. The players are even, but Slayer is still alive. And now we see TJ on that 1v1. He wins against Larky. Strucker not trying to go in, trying to get something, but he can't get anything. It's 2 scouts, and the entire team did it all or nothing, but it's a full wipe right now, and full Uber ad for Pingu this time.
Yeah, Shocky pulling a bit of a potato bomb there and does get absolutely annihilated on that bomb, so it's just a bit unfortunate from him. And then the red aggression, came out directly afterwards when they had the player advantage, so it was well played from them to notice the points where they needed to aggress during that mid. But they have ulted for Stroker on Sniper. The Clerk is up on the engineer. Tiltproof Slayer has found 100% Uber, and let's pray for my sanity that they are buffing players. Yeah, they are indeed, finally. Woo! Holy moly, it's actually happening, but they are still leading with this TJ Uber, which is probably the play with the demo man. They are sending the demo man in first. They spot the sentry gun, and they are getting some stickies onto it as they destroy that gun with ease. And it looks like the heavy's up on the left-hand side gets destroyed immediately with a focus from TJ, and it's going to be Daylight going in for a few bombs, but doesn't find anything really much. It's actually getting an arrow from Slayer, and imagine he's keeping him alive. It's going to be Daylight going in, gets totally denied by the scat gun of TJ, and that's going to be that is a wipe for the blue side. And that is going to be a legendary last push coming out from the red side with no casualties, really.
That was a great play by Pingu, just rolling all the way from mid to last without any mistakes, making sure that they actually, as you said, buffed up this time as well, so that last push was pretty much guaranteed, as it should be with a full Uber ad. So now looking at the scoreline, it's 1-4, and there's only 12 minutes left. Onto this mid, We see Itachi gaining so much ground, he's gonna be able to walk on the point. He doesn't anymore, he walks back, but now we see just a slow game coming out actually from both sides. No one really wants to do anything other than just Banana, who goes into kitchen but does get picked off by Stroker, and looks like Pingu are just backing out and they just give up mid off of that. I mean,
who gives
maybe
up
they think...
Like, who gives this up? Like, you give up your mid because you lose one, and you don't even try and counter any aggression. That's maybe they just don't have any strategies that they've tried to employ to stop that. But now they are now facing up against a bit of a push coming out from the blue side, off the one-player advantage of the spawning players. But they're going to see the double soldier bomb coming in, and they find Slayer. Unfortunately, they didn't even have Uber and Itachi. It's just going to have to run out of there. This is really unfortunate for the side of the red team, and this could be the comeback that they were waiting for. 11 minutes still left on the clock, so Fushi is now trying to fight against a bunch of players and does get picked up. It's just going to be Itachi surviving here, and it is going to be an Uber advantage to the side of AS if they want to use it, but they are just pushing into last here. The red team, have found a couple spawners. They've got TJ up on the heavy, but they need a scout right now. They're not going to be able to defend this point in time, and they just lose it because they had no point pressure, unfortunately, there. And that is going to be a round going to the side of Potato Photo, isn't it? Yeah, that team, in it.
It just all started from Slayer. He just was caught in that small little alleyway where he was just stuck in between a log and a fence and just gets bombed by a soldier. There's not really much he can do. Either way, the soldier came in from the really high bomb and just caught Slayer off guard. Picks up Slayer as he was so close to Uber charge and just was able, that soldier play was able to secure them the entire round, in fact. So now we look at this mid though. We see Smiley, this time is going to be the initiative. And he jumps into Shocky, but Shocky wins that fight against Smiley. Now Banana tries to do a jump, but he gets denied by one of the players. I think it was Daylight, and just they're going to win mid off of that as well. Losing, they only lost one, but I think they just think that they don't have enough ground to push off. But looking at this again, it's just even players, even Ubers, and Potato looks like they want to push in. They want to do a dry push into lower.
Oh,
and
no,
Lucky does get dropped though.
Yeah, that was really bad there. Lucky there got picked up really early on, and AS couldn't do anything. He was left totally alone in a situation similar to when Slayer is left without a TJ. He's just left with no one to try and fight with. And then you have to give up mid because of this as well, because you don't want to fight against Slayer's full Uber advantage here. Still 4-2 on the scoreboard. We are seeing a bit of, I'm over here back cap coming out from one of the blue soldiers as well.
Yeah, Shocky is stuck behind them, trying to go for a backup, but the entire team's already... They knew he was already behind, so they just started stacking the point, and he still went for the backup, so that's just even more delay by Shocky. But now we see Pingu actually going to push out from grass here. They went off on the window and went off the grass. They do still have Uber at, but it's just slowly closing out. It's going to slowly even now, but if Potato doesn't do anything, then it's pretty much just a free cap for them. But it looks like TJ wants to bring this even further. TJ's trying to push into last with only a soldier pick, and they do pop that Uber charge. It gets popped out on Itachi and TJ, and it just gets nothing other than just a force, but the Ubers are exchanged for both sides, and now we see Smiley winning that 1v1 against Lucky actually, and Daylight also going down. Two players are down right now, and it's just so bad right now for Potato, and Pingu are gonna do the re-push in.
Yeah, that was a really good rotation there from the red team. They rotated around where they needed to block the collapse going out from the blue team, and they have lost Stroker there as well. And it's going to be the blue Demo Man getting absolutely cyberbullied right now. He doesn't find anything. Itachi gets on that point, caps it out for his team, and that's going to be 2-5 on the side of Pingu's. And it's looking convincing for them now with only 8 minutes left on the clock, and 4 rounds need to transpire for the blue team to even have a chance of winning.
How does it feel to have your prediction just utterly...
blown out the water? It feels great, man. I'm usually wrong on all my predictions. I'm a bit of a caster curse in that regard.
Well, looking at this mid though, there's only 8 minutes left, and I think Potato Photo, they are just really feeling the pressure. They are so afraid of doing any mistakes. They are just content with not doing anything at all, hoping that the mistakes is not done by them instead. But that just makes them so passively... That just makes them sit so passively back in their lower. Although they are just so caught up in that corner, that double soldier bomb doesn't actually pick up anything. Even the medic IS was down to like single digits or something, but he still doesn't die, and none of the players from Potato Photo actually die. And it's only Pingu who is on the back foot, on to last right now.
Indeed, they managed to get out there. Slayer had a small Uber disadvantage because he wasn't healing many players on the way out there, but they have managed to retain this. And it looks like they can take an exchange on second now because they are really slowly capping mid. And if they take an exchange here, they might be able to win out on this point because they have got Daylight still capping up that point on mid. So they are just waiting for that as they do manage to get onto second, and they have cleared most of the blue players out. They are having to leave this, and they have to pop out that Uber to save the demo man. The Cloak now going in to try and get this force off, but Slayer does not pop at all. And it's a really good situation here for the red team because they will be able to take mid for free if they opt to do it.
Yeah, it looks like they're not going to go through lower instead because they are all actually expecting them to go through lower, but Pingu are actually going to bamboozle them, go through Saw instead, and this might call out some players, catch some players off guard. They do catch a Demo Man off guard. The medic is already out though, but that's good enough. They do pick up Larky, and that's 2 players up. 2-player advantage for Pingu, and that's enough to push into second off. And right now we see them walking into grass and just securing this second point. Daylight does go down to TJ, and we might even see Shocky die. Shocky does get out though with his life, but at the end of the day, the second cap is being secured. And although we do see an Uber ad by IS actually, IS does have a 30% ad, and they might even push out of this.
I'm not sure if they even know it exists, to be honest. I mean, they need to make something happen. There's only 5 minutes left on the clock, and they need the rounds, but they are opting to go with this, and they want to push with it. Leclerc getting low, they do have to use the Uber there to save him, and it is going to be Banana still alive somehow. How is he still alive? He's escaping through lower. He lives. He faced up against an Uber and absorbs the entire Uber. Eventually does die for his sins, but TJ has activated full dribble mode and is now activating into last.
They don't realize that they're on the cap.
They wrap around them and they get the cap. Oh my lord, that was amazing.
They didn't even know that they went through lower. Everyone was in lobby, occupied, trying to just stay back and be afraid that the Uber is just gonna come into the faces. But instead, it doesn't even go to the faces. It doesn't even get popped out in the entirety of that push. They just get on the point and just cap it up for free without any contest. But now 2 and 6 with 5 minutes left. If I was Pingu, I'll be pretty much comfortable with my position right now. So we do see in this mid, they are just not being as passive as they were before. But as I say that, they do lose 3 players, so they are on the back foot right now. It's just 2 scouts left and the medic for Pingu. They look like they want to just go back into last and build out this Uber.
Yeah, they're gonna make their way back into last. They don't want to, afford anything here. TJ is up on the engineer class, Bush is up on the heavy, and they are opting for full defense mode. I mean, playing the clock here is, if you want to make grand finals and you want to take the game seriously, this is the way you got to play it. Sometimes you just need to potato yourself on last. Otherwise, you give the enemy team a chance to potentially make a comeback. And they're just denying pretty much all hopes of that because they will have to take their time here with this last push to clinically dismantle it before they decide that they are going to make anything happen.
Yeah, and I just love Banana's positioning right now. I think it's really strong, but looks like the Uber exchange gonna come out.
This is a strong Uber. Yeah, this Uber just... Yeah, it was a solo Uber on a poo, and AS Games caught in. Oh no! Leclerc just runs into a sentry gun and gets absolutely annihilated. That is just really unfortunate for the side of the blue team, and it's 3 minutes 40 left on the clock, and I have strong doubt that they will be able to do this.
I think this is... I may be proven wrong, but I'm pretty sure that this is the map. I think this is a series. At this point, there's not much a Potato Photo can even do. They have to win 4 rounds in 3 minutes in order to even tie up this series, and I don't think that's even possible. There's certainly Pingu is not gonna let them do that, and at this point, I think they're just gonna try to see if they can just do some cheeky stuff.
There's 3 minutes left on the clock. It's not going to happen. They can't do anything anymore. They've lost their window of opportunity to try and make this last push happen, and that is going to be GG. Actually, they can't do it now. It's all over. It looks like Pingu are actually going to take this and make their way through to the grand final. So GGs are out in the chat, ladies and gentlemen, and a very interesting game overall, but the aggression just came out from Pingu's side to help them win this one. So we are now just out into garbage time. So what do you think of that game overall? I think they're
going for an exchange. Let's just see how they play out this exchange. They're probably going to go for frags, and that's what I want to watch. But maybe not. Actually, IS looks like he's just rotating all over the place. And Well, I don't know. I don't really know what they're trying to do. Are they trying to just waste the time, like spam out something?
Oh yeah.
It looks like they're gonna just shoot rockets from long range, and that's all they're gonna do. And Banana actually headshots Larky trying to do that. So I don't know. If you wanna go for a frag movie, then you gotta do it, man. You can't just spam long range rockets. You're just gonna give them the frag movie instead. Like,
You gotta get in there, Sonny Jim. You gotta go in there and get the frags. No one's gonna obtain them for you.
not
That's
sure
the
what
biggest
they're
piece
doing.
of advice I can give anyone, actually. If you want to get the frags, go for the frags, boys.
Yeah, just do it.
Yeah, they
Oh
can't...
wait, Smiley Spy.
Just frag, forehead.
Smiley Spy. Come on, stay on Spy. He needs to stay on Spy. Is he gonna pussy out? What's he doing? He's staying on Spy? He's not. He's just gonna Spy check? That's so boring. What the hell?
Come on, Smiley,
No.
go for some backstabs, man.
Aw, that's so... Is he on Sniper? No? Maybe?
No,
Come
I
on.
think he's just gonna have a spy crabbing competition with himself in the spawn room.
Oh no, that's so boring. He stays on Soldier. What the hell?
I'm not sure what they're doing at this point. Like, if I was the blue team, I would just have disconnected by now. I would have been out. I'd be like, bye bye.
I would, yeah, I would.
The game's over. Looks like they're trying to make something happen. They're trying to peek all these doorways, but the hold is just there. All the red players are all healed up. They're all chilling out. Fushy's sitting on 450. They have a sentry gun. They're full Uber. Smiley's even escaping out of lower when he shouldn't have, and it's wholeheartedly just 30 seconds left on the clock. It's 6-2. Game's over. Easy peasy.
Who wants to do something? Larky, does he get headshot? He does not. We do see Smiley on the 1v1 MGE on the staircase. Smiley was stuck underneath the staircase and he couldn't move around, but he does live though for his life. And we see the Uber exchange. It's just a Putis. The Putis can do everything he wants right now. He has a full Uber in his hands. He can do whatever he wants. He gets the Uber and he just mows. Ooh, it's just lucky. Yeah, and that's what we want to see. GG.
GG, well played. 2-6, 6-2. Pingu's win it. They're moving on to the grand finals in this best of 3 series. They went all the way to map number 3, where they win on Snakewater, and after winning the did they win the? Yeah, they won the first map on Process.
Yeah, Process.
I totally forgot. Yeah, they won 3-4. Fantastic.
So
that's going to be those games. What did you think of that game overall on Snakewater?
that was pretty much a classic lower bracket finals, you know, like it's always a lower bracket finals that goes like that in Asia. The first round is won closely by a team, and then the next map is won closely by another team, and then the third map is just one-sided. Totally convincing. But yeah, third place goes to Potato Photo. So great attempts at the season. Just Pingu coming out in victorious in the end, and they will go to grand finals and meet Xiao.
Oof. Do you think it's going to be a good grand final? You reckon Pingu is going to win that game as well, like you said? Or have you been convinced otherwise after watching this?
I mean, I want them to, but we've got yeah, you know, I won't predict
now got
so
the,
early. It can change
got the
any
logs.
moment.
We've got the logs. Let's talk about these. So TJ going 25 for 6. He activated during that game and absolutely slapped them, saying, "I am going to the grand finals, whether you like it or not," and destroyed them. So that was that entire game. In a nutshell, I think. Like, he just got so much aggression for his team. He stayed with Slayer the entire game once again, just pulling the same old strategies, and it seemed like Potato Photo couldn't deal with that. They totally switched off from all the good plays that they had on Reckoner, where they were denying them so well just by using the space they had available to them. It was just unfortunate for them, but as well as Daylight being unable to sack out a lot of points during the stalemates. He went 4-18 during that game, so it was a very sad game for him, but it was alright. I understand how he couldn't get sort of aggression going when you're going up against the scouts of TJ and Fushy, you know, like, you're going to have a hard time as a soldier. But Itachi and TJ both receiving 28% heals during that game as well, so it really does show how the cogs of this team works.
Yeah, actually this time Itachi's coming out the most in terms of heal percentage, although these logs are a bit scuffed because they're only 24 minutes. we are missing 6 minutes worth of gameplay, but looking at the heals are actually just basically even. It's basically like it's so close. It's basically even. It's like the same, identical. But that's the end of it. I mean, I hope people don't meme. I hope people don't start to meme Daylight because he got 4 to 18 in this map. It's really rough.
Happens.
Roamer life, you know.
Yeah, it's hard in this day and age to fight against these scouts. I mean, especially since you're fighting against like you said, some of the best scouts that Asia has to offer. It's going to be a hard time. So I don't blame them at all. And the situation he was in, I mean, it's Snakewater, and you're asked to sack into a point that's really hard to sack into.
Yeah,
like, what are you going to
true.
do? It's just the map, and it's just the matchup as well. So it's really hard to do. But he also didn't get bottom damage, so it's fine. It's fine. He had a good game
wait,
overall.
dude! I think we have the true logs. I think we have 30-minute logs right now.
It won't make a difference. I don't want to talk about anyone else.
All right. Anyways, though.
Yeah, so that was our
moving
game
on.
for the lower bracket final for AsiaFortress between Club Penguin Crusaders and Potato Photo, where Club Penguin Crusaders managed to win it in a scoreline of 2-1, winning themselves maps on Process and Snakewater, but losing out on Reckoner. So close games overall. GG's to both teams. Is there any shout-outs that you want to give, Core? Yeah, that's right. I'm speaking to you. I'll speak for you, don't worry. Shout-outs to the casters is what he said, so thanks very much, Core. Thank you very much. Ev, any shouts from you?
Shout out to TJ. Yeah, he's a pretty nice guy, you know, outside of everything. But hey, yeah. So yeah, that's all my shoutouts.
Fantastic. Shoutouts to all the people in chat for watching this evening. Shoutouts to both teams for a really good and close games, and shoutouts to Wheathoof as well for being such a lad. And shoutouts to Insomnia. So I'm really excited to go to that LAN. It's going to be fantastic. But thank you all for watching this production from TF Live, and we'll catch you in the next one.